Brokenness behind closed doors. There are struggles that everyone can see. Then there are struggles that remain hidden behind closed doors. Jesse Karnell Mayfield Jr. discovered that some of the greatest battles of life are fought where no audience exists. Behind the smile. Behind the conversations. Behind the routines. Behind the silence. Many people assumed everything was fine because they only saw a small portion of his life. God saw everything. He saw the tears that never reached another person's eyes. He saw the prayers spoken in whispers. He saw the disappointment that words could not fully express. He saw the questions Jesse carried into the night. He still sees all of these things. As the scriptures proclaim in Psalm chapter 34, verse 18, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Those words became deeply personal. Brokenness is uncomfortable. It exposes weakness. It humbles pride. It reminds every person that they are not self-sufficient. For years, Jesse tried to understand himself. Why did certain memories remain so vivid? Why did some disappointments linger longer than expected? Why did certain emotions seem stronger than others? Why did some days feel hopeful while others felt heavy? He did not always have immediate answers. Instead, God began teaching him patience. Healing rarely happens all at once. Just as a broken bone requires time to mend, the heart often heals one step at a time. There were days when Jesse felt emotionally exhausted. There are still those days. Days when even getting out of bed required determination. There are still those days. Days when he found himself crying before the Lord because words alone were not enough. There are still those days. As the scriptures proclaim in Romans chapter 8, verses 26 through 27, likewise the Spirit helps us in our weakness. For we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. Those verses reminded Jesse that even when he struggled to pray, he was never praying alone. God understood every sigh, every tear, every stutter, every moment of silence, every burden. As the years passed, another gift entered Jesse's life: counsel. For more than a decade, he participated in therapy and counseling. At first, it felt unfamiliar. Eventually, it became another instrument God used in his journey toward healing. He learned healthier ways to understand his emotions. He learned that acknowledging pain is not the same as surrendering to it. He learned that asking for help is not weakness. It is often an act of humility. He learned practical tools for coping with anger, grief, disappointment, anxiety, depression, and overwhelming emotions. Most importantly, he learned that these tools were most beneficial when they complemented, rather than replaced, the wisdom found in God's Word. The scriptures proclaim in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 22, "Without counsel plans fail, but with many advisers they succeed." Jesse thanked God for every person who patiently listened. Every counselor. Every encouraging believer. Every friend who chose compassion over judgment. Every person became part of God's providential care. Looking back, Jesse realized something surprising. His greatest wounds often became his greatest classrooms. His tears taught him compassion. His failures taught him humility. His weakness taught him dependence. His disappointments taught him perseverance. God did not waste any of it. The broken places that Jesse once wanted to hide became the places where God's grace became most visible. That realization changed the way he viewed suffering. He no longer asked only, "Lord, when will this end?" He also began asking, "Lord, what are you teaching me while I wait?" That question transformed waiting into worship. It transformed suffering into surrender. It transformed brokenness into a testimony. The Jesse Karnell Mayfield Jr. effect was becoming increasingly evident. Not because Jesse had stopped struggling, but because he had stopped trying to carry every struggle by himself. He was learning to cast every burden upon the Lord. As the scriptures proclaim in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7, casting all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. Those words became more than something he read. They became something he lived. Daily. Behind every closed door, the Lord had never left. And the story of redemption was still being written.